Hey guys, Twig here. So Diddz submitted a replay for analysis in the coaching channel on the UCS Discord, and Kimball actually already did a great, pretty long video on, just breaking down some of the plays that happened in this game. So I'm not going to go over the entire game, but I did see some things that I wanted to point out, and I'm actually only going to focus on the first 1 minute and 10 seconds of this game, just because I think it highlights a lot of things that up-and-coming players struggle with, particularly in defending and in sometimes moving the ball out of your half on a against a very aggressive team. So the entire 1 minute, the first 1 minute and 10 seconds of this game, Diddz' team gets stuck in their half. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to actually watch the game from all three perspectives, one at a time, and just kind of comment on some of the things that are happening. So I'll get this started here. One of the things I want to point out as you're watching, I need to actually get into the game. There we go. One of the things I want to point out as you're watching is watching Diddz' perspective is a very good way to get an idea of how you should be rotating. His awareness of where people are is very good, and he's always getting back to where he needs to be to defend the ball. So let's start with just some of the decisions, okay, that have already been made in this game. Okay, so Diddz is going back to goal. In my opinion, Madsen over there should have challenged that ball. Instead, he went back for boost. Maybe he didn't have boost at all, which is possible. I don't know. So anyways, it looks like Madsen was going back to goal. Diddz is challenging this ball, which is good. He gets it off the guy's car so his teammate can push forward. Unfortunately, the blue team gets a really good touch and puts it back on goal, but Diddz is rotating back, so he's ready to defend. What he does right here, I think, is unfortunate. He goes up for he puts the ball too high here. Okay, so watch the ball's trajectory, right? It's going to go in the goal. I don't think it's not wrong that he went up for this aerial. I personally probably would have waited a little longer, because you see the ball's going to land in front of the goal. I think he probably could have just trapped it and dribbled it out. But this touch, if he would have put it a little lower, he might have forced it to roll up the wall, and then he could have touched it over the defender. But because it hits in that corner, it's very difficult, and you see that Setlow, or whatever his name is already already ready to contest. So we're not. So this is the first time they really had a good chance to clear, or what should have been a good chance to clear, and kind of got denied. But not a huge deal. Well, as you can see, actually, it might have been a huge deal because the Stig was ready to get that shot off that pass, but thankfully Madsen was there to defend. Cool. So we'll see. That particular play I might come back to. Whatever the other teammate he has on his back left shoulder here might have, maybe he should have went up for that ball. I'm not sure. It was hard to see. But let's see what happens here. Okay. So that's a tough clear to make when it's bouncing off the corner like that. The blue team was ready. This touch is really good. Got it around the opponent, but got knocked back, no problem. His team should be able to clear. I think his team screws up. Yeah. So Madsen had another chance to clear out the ball, but instead he kind of messed up his dribble and brought it back to the center. Here's another chance to clear. Just kind of messed up going for the aerial off the wall. Those are kind of tough. Definitely a good thing to practice. I think Kimball mentioned that he had a training pack for practicing shots like that. But that's if you can aerial off the back wall, that's a huge skill. And it'll really help you out defending and getting clears. Okay, so good block there. So now here, okay, that's a minute and 10 seconds. Madsen gets a good clear off the pass to the center from Sputsin, and this is the first time leaving their end. So now I'm just going to go from a different perspective. So here's Madsen's perspective. Right, okay, so yeah, so you see Madsen, I don't really like what he did here. He waited for this, but he waited to go for boost, which is great, right? The problem is that he didn't wait until, watch this. The ball gets pinched out, right? So all he was doing is waiting. I'm guessing he just made sure that the ball wasn't going to get stuck in the center, right? So that, if the ball was killed in the center and the other team got an easy shot on the goal, that's what he was defending. But I don't think you start moving out when the ball goes to the wall like that, because look, if Setlow comes in and puts on a strong shot, he just left the goal wide open. Now Setlow did not come in for a shot because I think the Stig was going across. So I guess he got kind of lucky, but I feel like either I don't know. I think he should have challenged there. You know, he should have just pushed up and challenged. But that's fine. He came back, did set it. Okay, so he should have had that ball probably. I don't know. He probably just didn't see the blue player. Wasn't expecting it. Okay, so this is a good save he has. He sees the blue player coming up to put that goal in. Definitely don't go up for that aerial, right? Oops, I went back too far. Okay, so here, look. Setlo is up in the air. He's still on the ground, right? Setlo has the advantage of more momentum. He's already got some speed going. So look, here is where he goes off the ground. Look at how high Setlo is already compared to him, right? In this situation, you see the other guy who's going to go for the ball. If he's already up off the ground before you, you don't even go up. Maybe you go up the right wall and see if you can contest it there. He could potentially still beat him to the ball if he went up the right wall right away. I don't know. Maybe not. The ball's a little too far out from the wall. Anyways, in this situation, instead of going up for the aerial that you're not going to get, you just turn around and rotate back to goal. And then, because now, look, he's just out of the play, right? He's all the way on their side of the field. And they actually, I mean, if they had a better touch there, maybe there was a possibility to score. So this is just a big thing I want to touch on is if you see that you're clearly going to be beaten to the ball, just turn around. Just turn around, rotate back. You're back in the play like twice as fast as he would have been because he was stuck on all the way on the other side of the field. And then you can just get another opportunity. But just going up for an area you have no chance at is just basically, making it a 3v2 for the other team. Okay, so that touch was unfortunate. That touch was good. The first touch here, okay, not a strong hit. That's fine. He recovers really well. He recovers actually right into this little touch here. The problem is that he screws up. Actually, there's two problems here. Sputson, I don't know where Sputson's going. Okay? Sputson should not be leaving the goal when the ball is still so close to the net. That's just silly. So if Sputson were there, he could fix this. Madsen obviously screws up the dribble here and just keeps turning it back towards the center. If Sputson was still in the goal, no problem. He could just come out and clear it. So that's part of this is on Madsen, who made a mistake. No problem. He had good intentions because I don't know. I'm not as fancy with the camera as Kimball is. Oop, auto can't fly. All right. So you see there's actually there's a whole path here he can go, right? If he would have dribbled, he could have just taken this path. Cool. And could have cleared it from their side. But who's that? Madsen. But he screwed up the dribble. No problem. So if his teammate was in the goal, he could have came out and cleared it right there. But instead look what's happening here. His teammates are just following him around in circles. That's silly. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Okay, I'm pretty sure that this is Madsen's ball to go for. The stick was up pretty quick. Let's see what happens here. I'm actually really curious. Okay, so the ball pops. I think the stick is actually really fast to the air, right? So let's watch what happens. No, okay, Madsen, if Madsen would have went up right away as that happened, he could have cleared it already. Instead, he backed up into the goal, which is honestly not the worst thing to do if you're unsure about the ball. But it's not the best thing to do in this situation. But anyways, okay, he misses the hit, so now he goes up. Cool. Doesn't get the block, so it's Sputson's ball to clear. Don't really see what's going on here. Okay. So he should have... Now look at what happens here. This is just the silliest thing. Okay, so this bothers me too. When you're getting to the diamond levels, you want to move places with purpose, right? So you want to front flip and use... I wish I could see how much boost he had. I feel like maybe this is silly for me to nitpick on, but this just seems slow. It seems slow to me. Okay, so cool. He lands. He has a little bit of boost. So if that was the last of his boost, he should have waited until he landed and used that boost with his forward flip to gain momentum into the boost pad on the center there. But instead, he dodges and he doesn't aim for that little boost pad. And then here, I don't know. It just takes him a really long time to get there. And I know this is probably a really silly thing to stop and talk about, but speed is such a big thing. I mean, getting back to the goal, it's just huge. So you wanna kind of think about little ways to optimize, how you're moving on the field and how you're recovering. The faster you recover, the faster you can get back into play, and the more potent you're going to be on defense or on offense or whatever you're doing. So this is just a really poor decision on his part. He doesn't flip through the small boost. It just looks like he's lazily driving around. Okay, so now he has a few options here, right? He says you can see Diddz coming up there. Okay, so if Diddz comes up and challenges, I think he can go back into the corner, but Diddz is pretty far away still. The ball's moving away from Diddz. Obviously, Diddz is not going to challenge. So what he needs to do is he needs to go as fast as possible and hit this ball across the field. Okay, you see both of those people committing? Just get in front of him, hit it across the field, but he doesn't really do that, and instead he just kind of messes up his teammate. And he's not, you see, he's just kind of like lazily driving back. Look at this. No boost. He doesn't even boost his teammate. He just he's just holding the right throttle, just okay, I don't know what's happening. Can't even tell that my teammate's in front of me. Okay. Just Sunday driving. He could have hit Diddz there too, because he was just like, guy's probably watching the ball flying around. Just kind of poor awareness, poor decision making. So this is the first, that's 1 time. So he gets a good clear there. Good for him. Okay, let's go back. I know I'm being tough on Matt. Alright, so here's the other guy. Alright, Sputson. Let's see what's going on here. So I've tried watching Sputson a few times now, and I'm just really confused about what's going on here. I think my replay is broken. I have to believe my replay is broken, because Sputson here stays on ball cam, or stays off ball cam, stays on player cam, like an unreasonably long time here. Like, how? So either my replay is broken or he's actually playing like this. And honestly, I don't know what's going on. Like, I can't even talk about how he's actually playing because this is so disconcerting. Like, how do you know where the ball is here? Besides watching the little indicator under your car. Maybe that's why he was so confused about being in the goal before. I don't know. But look, this is the first 45 seconds into the game. Oh, I guess he found ball cam? I am so confused. I think maybe everything else about this review just got trivialized by the fact that this player was doing strange things. I don't even know what to say. I feel like Sputson has literally contributed nothing up until that block into the cross to Matsson's clear. Okay, so I guess... oh my god. Okay, I guess that's Sputson was the reason that your team could not clear the ball for the first 1 minute and 10 seconds into this game. I don't think my analysis or critique of the other two players' plays was wrong. But I mean, if you just watch Sputson's point of view, like he did, I literally don't think he did anything to contribute after the kickoff and until that little block into the center for his teammate. So I'm kind of speechless. Okay, so moving on, a few things to point out just to wrap it all up. Think about your touches. Every touch should have a purpose. Okay, when you want to clear the ball, I always tell people, this is especially true when you're trying to move the ball out of your side. Every time you dodge towards the ball, you're separating yourself from the ball. This is obvious. You're pushing the ball away from you. Okay. Now, sometimes that's the right thing to do. If you can get a power hit, a power shot, a power clear, do that. Obviously, that's good. That's powerful. Great. But anytime you dodge towards the ball, you're giving away possession. Now, maybe you're going to give away possession to your teammate. Maybe you're giving away possession to their end of the field, so your teammate can, get back on its feet, get boost, and make a put pressure on them and their side. And sometimes that's the right call. But no matter what, every time you dodge, you're giving away the possession of the ball. So especially when you're moving it out of your side, think carefully. What is your dodge accomplishing? Because typically, it's better to actually just keep the ball on your car somehow. Keep it close to you. Because if the ball's close to you and the opposing team challenges, there's a much better chance that you'll be able to get a 50-50, get a block, do something positive with the ball, as opposed to dodging forward, getting it slightly farther away from your goal, but just giving it to the other team so they can put a shot on, they can get it around you somehow because you're not close enough. There's just so many things that could happen. So think about every touch should have some purpose. And sometimes you're going to make mistakes, sometimes you're not going to get the touch you want, but the earlier you begin to start thinking about what your touch is doing, the better. And because and also that's going to reinforce in your head, okay, well, I want the touch to do this. I didn't quite get the touch that made it do that. This is what actually happened, and now you're getting a better understanding of how your car interacts with the ball, and you can store that in your head so that next time, oh well, now you just get a better idea of how you need to interact with the ball to make it do the things you want. So I know this is probably a bit long-winded over this, but hopefully in my rambling there was some sort of tip here that maybe you can use in your play. So thanks again. This was Twig. You should definitely check out Kimball's full review of this replay if you have the time to watch it, because I think you did a great job. You put a lot of effort into it. But yeah, see you around.